Greetings everyone! Welcome to my review of Sonic issue 172. Since Valentine's Day is approaching once again, it's time to tackle an issue dealing with relationships, and it's not all flowers and candy as you'll see today. 172 takes place immediately after the issue in which Shadow finally gets his answers on that disc and sever ties with Eggman for good, plus Sniffly going on a mad tear to get his few remaining hairs back. Throughout that story, Sonic's wondering where Fiona's been throughout all of this, which brings us to today. We begin with Amy Rose attacking Fiona. No, the Sonic-obsessed pink hedgehog hasn't gone crazy. She does have a valid point. Amy explains she was looking for Sonic when she came across Tails, who explained the events of issue 167, including learning about Fiona's shady past. This leads to Amy figuring out that Fiona's cheating on Sonic with his evil doppelganger Scourge. Fiona skirts around the issue, saying that even if it was true, there's no way Sonic or anyone else would believe her. Cue Sonic, who's been standing there the whole time. He tells Amy he'll always take her word with a shaker of salt, and thanks her for having his back. He takes Fiona into the woods for a talk. Tails is in the panel to show us that he's going to secretly follow them. Sonic brings up Fiona's sketchy past and how it affects the situation now, with her randomly disappearing at times lately. He also notes that Fiona only took interest in him after his evil doppelganger impersonated him back in those terrible Milestone issues. Combine that with testimonies from Amy, Tails, and from issue 167, Sleuth and Scourge, odds are Fiona is cheating on Sonic. Well, those odds are confirmed when Scourge shows up and Fiona greets him with, "Hey sweetie." With the cat out of the bag, Fiona explains she knew Scourge at the time wasn't Sonic and thought she would find similar qualities in the real deal. Nope, she finds Sonic too vanilla for her tastes. To further push Sonic's buttons, Scourge brings up the failed relationship with Sally. You know, the one that ended with the infamous slap? Tails drops in and pleads for Fiona not to go with Scourge, that she's a good person inside. Fiona decides to smack some sense into the poor, naive kid. Literally in this case. I should point out that unlike the Sally slap, I don't find this amusing at all. Sonic quickly goes to Tails, who says, "Get him." Sonic goes after Fiona, forgetting that his evil self is still around. During the fight, Scourge banters on the nature of good and evil, and when he has Sonic on the ground, he pulls a page out of the Joker handbook saying, "All it takes is one bad day for you to be like me." But Sonic turns it around, in more ways than one, and says all Scourge needs is one act of decency to be like him. I wonder if that'll go anywhere. Fiona knocks Sonic away, and Fiona herself is almost knocked down by Amy's hammer. Not wanting to deal with an upset two-tailed fox, an angry hedgehog, and Sonic, Scourge and Fiona leave via warp ring. The trio head back to Freedom HQ. It looks like things are wrapped up with Tails giving the old "Fiona was wrong and we three can trust each other and blah 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 blah" before running home in tears. Then Antoine pops up, and after being told what happened, says he's going to do something that he should have done a long time ago, which will be revealed in the next issue. For now, we move on to story 2. It has Julie Sue waking up Amy Rose so she can get some training in. Things start off on the wrong foot, so to speak, but after the old wake up splash, it's time to really get down to it. Amy tries to whack Julie Sue with the hammer until the sparring match ends with this. Julie Sue doesn't mind being Amy Rose's personal trainer, but she wants to know why. Well, Julie Sue, Amy wants to be the best female fighter so Sonic can notice her. She points out the relationship Knuckles and Julie Sue have, and Julie Sue explains that, yes, she and Knuckles do spar, but they also hang out regularly, and Knuckles makes her feel mushy without being weak. So Amy has to have the need to fight because she wants to first, and not just for Sonic. Nice try, Julie Sue, but Amy trying to get Sonic all to herself is a key part of her character, with this training hoping to impress him. Team Sonic arrives with word that Eggman's causing mischief and invites the pink ladies along to stop him. The story and issue ends with them heading off, Amy still hoping to win Sonic over with her fighting skills. I'll start with story 2 because it'll help me paint a better picture of Amy in this issue. As I stated here and in the Sonic X Valentine's Day issue, a major, if not the major part of Amy Rose's character is to chase down Sonic so she can have him all to herself. In this story, she's trying to get Sonic's attention by being the best female fighter possible.
I'll make that Sonic respect me!
Julie Sue calls her out on this behavior, and Amy seemingly ignores it. But later issues will show that while yes, she wants Sonic, she'll be more subdued in her behavior, and will take fighting and helping others more seriously. So to me, this is where Ian's take on her truly begins. As for Julie Sue being a teacher and going into detail about her relationship with Knuckles, it's a good attempt to give dimensions to said relationship beyond that soul touch stuff, and to have her serve a purpose beyond Chaotix's action girl. For the reasons I've just stated, plus decent art from Tania Del Rio, I'm giving this story a 7. I believe the events of this story take place before the first one because Amy in story 1 is attacking Fiona because she's cheating on Sonic with Scourge. Yes, Sonic is still the subject, but it shows that shift I mentioned earlier, that she's trying to do the right thing. And in the story, Sonic recognized her achievements by saying he's glad she has his back. It may not be the "you're an excellent fighter, let's date" response she wants, but she'll take it. Plus, it's in poor taste to try and win Sonic's feelings at this point because of what happened. Which brings us to the main subject of the story, Fiona ditching Sonic for Scourge. This is another case of Ian doing some cleanup. This time he explains why Fiona would suddenly get together with Sonic, as seen in the end of issue 156. She fell for Scourge while he was impersonating Sonic, off panel I'm assuming, trying to find similar things in the real Sonic, but found nothing. In the end, she embraces her shady side and leaves with Scourge. I could be wrong, but I have a feeling Ian planned this since he took over in issue 160. Think about it. We see hints of Fiona's past in that issue, and in 167, we got a lot more of it. Plus, the first hint that she was seeing Scourge on the side. I'm surprised Sonic didn't catch it at that time. You know, I'm glad she left. To me, she didn't feel like Freedom Fighter material. You could argue she was trying to belong, or she served as a medic. Okay, fine. But she still nursed a grudge against Sonic due to leaving her behind, accidentally of course, when she was young. Had a robot duplicate of her made for his sinister plan, escaped, and hung out with criminals in order to survive. And from what I've read, she only joined the Freedom Fighters, the organization in which Sonic's a part of, only because Sonic sacrificed himself to save the world from aliens. Okay, maybe she was happy with the team until Sonic came back and inadvertently reopened some of those old wounds, but I don't think one could fully let go of, "I was left in a robotic prison thanks to you." Plus, honestly, I think the Freedom Fighters were getting a bit cluttered, and it seemed Ian was on the same mindset as he was trying to streamline the team back to what they were in the old days, with the addition of Amy Rose, of course. The real victim in all this was Tails. The kid's been through an emotional roller coaster as of late, and I don't just mean being reunited with his parents recently. First you see your childhood crush going out with the guy who's essentially your older brother, then you find out said crush is a scumbag. I do feel bad for him, but at the same time, I want some sense knocked into him, and not in the Fiona way, just a good talking to. Yes, he's a kid, and it's okay for kids to have crushes on someone. Sometimes said crushes don't turn out to be what you'd expect. It happens. But Tails developed his Fiona crush thanks to an encounter with the aforementioned robotic duplicate, programmed by Robotnik to serve him. And it almost ended badly for Tails. That messed up the kid so much, he was hoping the real Fiona was better. And look how it turned out. Not to mention there's a significant age gap between the two, so I doubt it'll work. Though there was Tails and Mina from that alternate future, but I don't want to think about it right now. I'm also giving this story a 7. This is another good example of Ian acknowledging past elements and building story off them, and Tracy Yardley's art really brings out the expressions of our characters. So what is Antoine going to do? We'll find out when we get to issue 173. Amy's representing most of us when we get out of bed, just going through the motions half asleep.